The space layout shows a work barrack, where low-income and new residents of factory-oriented cities were placed. These were large, narrow, and plain rooms. This one has a gray ceiling and wall, with one of the walls being largely comprised of windows. There is a row of bunk beds in the center of the room, stretching far back in the narrow room. These bunk beds are plainly furnished, and many contain sleeping workers in this depiction. On the wall full of windows, between the windows, the propaganda posters are placed. 2 of these propaganda posters are associated with work-related instructions. They are fairly violent warnings against the consequences of improperly handling manufacturing machines. The first shows the yellow-green outline of a man on a blue background. It says in Russian, "Будь осторожен, накладывай правильно витки каната," which translates as, "Be careful, superimpose the rope coils properly." As a result of improperly winding the coils on a machine, his arm appears stuck in this, and it can be inferred that this is very painful to him. There are Cyrillic block letters on the bottom 1/3 of the image conveying the message over a black background. The second image shows a hand being rolled into the 2 rollers on a paper mill. This is over a plain white background, and the text is placed over the image. The text says, "Nechist machinu na chodu," which translates as, "Dangerous machine in motion." The third image is what appears to be a steelworker at his job, illuminated in reds and oranges to accompany the written component. The text is placed in black and red over the white spaces, and it says, "Piat letku v 4 gada, vpolnim," which translates as, 5-year plan in 4 years. Perform. This was targeted towards men in the early 1930s of working age. Factory life in the Soviet Union at this time was new to many of these men, who were often relocated to the major cities for these factory jobs. They were typically very poor and usually alone, so workers' dormitories were a popular option. I placed the date of this space in the year 1934 because this is a propaganda poster issued at the start of the second 5-year plan. The second 5-year plan gave heavy industry top priority, putting the Soviet Union as one of the major steel-producing countries in the world, second only to Germany. As a result, many men were called to factory life in order to take part in this. Because Stalin perceived the first 5-year plan of 1928 to 1932 as being a massive success, many posters such as this one, advocating for the 5-year plan to take only 4 years to complete, were incredibly common, especially in the initial years of the second plan. Factory life in the Soviet Union of this time was new to many, and conditions were less than ideal. This is more than illustrated by the amount of factory accidents that occurred in early manufacturing plants. Clearly, there were enough to warrant accident-oriented propaganda posters within the factories. However, lack of safety was just one of the many issues facing male workers in the Soviet Union. Overcrowding, poor management, unrealistic expectations, and abysmal wages also contributed to dissatisfaction. Propaganda posters were used in this way to motivate workers who were likely to be disgruntled by this lifestyle. They encouraged hard work and efficiency for the collective good.